You know, there's no way to really sugarcoat this, so I'm just going to come out and say it. I've got 17 rivals going into the Firekeepers 400 at Michigan. This is gonna be probably a not fun race if I can't qualify very well. And considering how I've done in the last few races in terms of qualifying, I ain't expecting much. So I tried a little something in qualifying and I don't think it worked. I taped the grill up to 70% and no, it didn't work. It was really fast for about half a lap and then it blew up. So that was not a very good idea. But I think the car feels really good for the race. So I'm confident, although the lap time does not show it. Let's pass it over to PRN. Get us started.
The stars of NASCAR roll into Michigan International Speedway for the Firekeepers Casino 400. Located in the scenic Irish Hills area of southeastern Michigan, today this D-shaped 2-mile oval will play host to the best drivers in the world. So if you're a fan of speed, this is the race for you. Michigan is the fastest track in NASCAR with speeds often in excess of 200 miles per hour. Do you feel the need for speed? NASCAR racing is coming up next.
So here we are, ready to go green at Michigan. As you heard PRN say, 200 miles an hour is going to be the speed du jour. And with all these rivals going off into turn one, I'm very concerned about this. Pretty much everybody behind me is a rival and everybody in front of me is a rival. I think Cody Ware's the only one who's not. So it doesn't help my case very much, but on lap one, turn one, I stupidly drove into Timmy Hill, and that all good things come to an end immediately. I'll come into the pits, get repairs done, and we're going to try that again. So that was not the smartest thing I've ever done on the first lap in turn two. So I need to just put it together here, put it all together, and not try to go around the outside, I guess, down the back straightaway. It's so easy to hook into somebody as I'm driving around the outside with Jeffrey Earnhardt to the inside. I know he's a rival. Cody Ware's probably quickly going to become one if I stay back here for too long. So to the inside of Jeffrey Earnhardt, if I can clear him. Let's use the non-rival car of Cody Ware to kind of get underneath some of the rivals here. Woo! Cole Witt decided to turn down into me. He's going to spin. Well, I'm going to spin too. They saved it. I saved it. We're going to stay green. Probably wasn't the best thing for my forward progress, though, to save it, even though apparently the spotter thinks that was a fast lap, despite the fact that my car was almost spun out the entire time. But we're underway here at Michigan, and it looks like they're using a lot of the bottom lane. So hopefully once I get up there, we'll be able to start using the top lane and get around. Let's take a look at fuel mileage, which is 9 laps out of 14. So going to be pitting pretty early in this stage to be able to get to the end of it. So I'm going to use the absolute larceniest line of them all and try to get a good drive off of turn 4, which I do, in behind Timmy Hill. Hopefully this time we get by him with no issues, which I do. Outside 3 wide. A little bit of contact with Joey Gase. I held on to it. I definitely bullied him a little bit there. That was my bad. So I kind of deserved what was coming to me on that one. Hopefully Jeffrey Earnhardt's nice. But I'm going to crowd him out just a little bit. Well, he didn't get triggered, so that's a good thing. Cody Ware, I guess, is not a rival because he's not trying to kill me. With 17 rivals, it's hard to keep track of exactly who all is a rival and who is not. I know Corey LaJoie is a rival, so we'll try to pass him as quickly as possible. Going to be over 200 miles an hour most of this lap, I suspect, in the draft. I'm just going to baby the throttle. I was trying to say feather and baby at the same time, and it didn't quite come out correctly. Down to 182 coming out of turn 2. Oh, K-Love car just going to try to put me up in the wall here. Thanks a lot. Old McDowell had a farm, E-I-E-I-O, and on that farm he had some K-Love. All right, come on. Let's get some Paul Menard here. Whoopsie. Oh, boy. I didn't quite mean to get the Paul Menard that way, but hey, you know what? Whatever works. Whatever works. So we know we can make people really, really loose coming out of turn 4 now.
Hold your line.
That may or may not be something worth knowing. And Chase Elliott just caused a crash up there, but nope, they didn't save it.
Carlo.
No, they did. They did. That's the greatest save I've ever seen in my whole life. But Corey LaJoie just decided to LePage the field right there. Oh, we're gonna blow over. Oh man. Woo! That was interesting. What was going on there? All the AI saved it, and then Corey LaJoie decided he didn't leave his ARCA brakes in ARCA. Did Corey LaJoie even ever run ARCA? I don't know. I guess I'll come into the pits. We'll stay 33rd, despite the fact that I had made a charge up through the field, lost most of my ground because of this nonsense with Corey LaJoie, so I'm none too pleased with him. Hopefully De Benedetto will be nice to me on this restart, because Corey LaJoie is definitely not going to be. Purple car, be nice, maybe. Come on, inside, 3 wide. DJ Kennington, I think he's a rival. Yeah, he's going to act like one. And here comes LaJoie down to the inside, so we're going to go 4 wide here, but thankfully we have some cred with De Benedetto, and he's not going to wreck me. Thankfully, Paul Menard wasn't too... maybe he was triggered. Maybe he was triggered. If he wasn't trying to put me up in the wall, he certainly was crowding me out quite a bit. And now we're going to go around Old McDowell here. Can I get her done when we get around the outside? Yes, I can. That was a 4 wide move, but screw it. Get down in front of McDowell and start moving up the field here. So we get around a couple of guys who were wrecking in turn 2. That was Suarez and Almendinger. Now around a couple more cars and slicing down in behind Eric Jones. Getting a nice run. Tried to split the middle. Just got a little bit of Jones's bumper right there. Danica Patrick to the outside. And clear her as well. So really coming up through the field very nicely. This is kind of what I wanted to happen. And I finally got an opportunity to really show what I got here. Because I knew I had a good handling car, just not a good qualifying car. 8 laps to go on the fuel, but it's only 1 lap to go on the stage. So I got to get on it if I want some stage points. Got 5 positions to go. Kurt Busch was out of shape there. I'm out of shape. David Reagan. We're crashed on the back straightaway again. Danica Patrick, ARCA breaks into it, and we finally get a caution. I wish I could have gotten a caution as soon as I wrecked, otherwise I would have been 12th instead of 19th, but them's the brakes, and of course nobody else is coming into the pits except for Chase Elliott, who caused that wreck earlier. He was already there, and obviously not going to come out for a while, I suspect. So, starting stage number 2, in about the same place we started stage 1, right at the back of the field. So let's, okay. So, I'm not going to make any bonsai moves on this stage. We're going to wait a lap before I really get moving, because that's when the field's going to move to the bottom of the track. So this lap, I'm just going to kind of rim ride the top, not try to get too big of a run on these boys, because otherwise it's just going to end in tears on the back straightaway. So here we go, 205 miles an hour, just back out, run the high line for a little while. See if I've got an opportunity. Not quite. Gonna get a nice draft here. Got a couple of cars I can pass. Sadler, Hill, LaJoie is going to be a pain, I'm sure, because he's been a pain this entire race. That was a decent pass. Did I clear Dylan on the inside, though? I know both the Dylans are rivals, but he was nice to me that time. So is Joey Gase. Well, okay. We raced clean there, and we didn't have rivals try to kill us. So that's a good thing. Up into the top 30 by passing DJ Kennington. So let's be methodical. We got fuel on board. We got 8 laps to go on fuel. 11 to go on the stage. We're still going to have to pit, but I could theoretically get a win in this stage because I could do a splash and dash. And I'm sure the rest of the field will not do that. So I'm driving around the outside of Clint Boyer. And Boyer going to drive me up into the wall. I got to steer into him. I'm literally steering into him right now to stay off of the wall.
Car there.
And I did stay off of the wall. Now can I get a good enough drive off the corner that I can get away from Boyer? Oh yeah. But Paul Menard gets into me. Boyer gets into me. We're gonna wreck Paul Menard. Upside down again. Nope. Oh, that worked out remarkably well for me. I've only got 2 seconds of repairs, and you know what? Everybody's pitting. I got 7 laps on the fuel. I'm not gonna pit. We're gonna stay out, and we're gonna try to stretch it to the end of this stage. Try to get some track position and a stage win. Why not?
Almost ready. Nice.
I figure that's a good idea. Here we go, back to racing. With 7 to go on the stage, 7 on the fuel. That's perfect. It's exactly what needed to happen. Now I've just got to make sure I don't get swamped here when we get down to turn 3, but as long as I start pulling away, I think we'll be all right. They're side by side behind me, Truex and Busch is starting to come, so here we go. Here comes that run I was worried about into turn 3. Gonna have to kind of plate race here, block both lanes until we get to turn 3 where there's a little bit of a braking zone, or I guess just a lifting zone if you're in clean air, which I am indeed. And pull out a 2/10 gap in the corner. Busch gonna come back at me. Gotta hold him off for 6 more laps here at Michigan to get a stage win. Busch looking to the inside. I kind of left the gap open. Left it open way too much there. Drove it in way too deep. He snookered me in there. And that was my bad on that one, giving up the lead. So I'm going to have to battle Kyle Busch again. But at least this time I'm in a draft. Don't have to really worry about Ryan Newman down to the inside. I don't think he's going to be too much of a, well, I'm going to say he's not going to be too much of a factor. And then he got into me just a little bit. So I'm going to try to sneak down in front of, woo! Nope, not trying to go into pits, spotter. Oh, Kenseth and Logano side by side. This will work out well. 5 to go in the stage. Still got plenty of time to get up here to Newman and Busch. So that's what I'm going to try to do. Just lifting out just a little bit. Trying to get behind Ryan. Flying Ryan. And he's looking for the lead right now. Underneath Kyle Busch. But can I get it? Can I get these 2 positions back? A little bit of a lift in the center, getting in behind Ryan Newman, getting a good run behind him, but still not quite got the speed.
Okay, that's the halfway mark.
Down the straightaways, we hit the halfway mark in the race, 4 laps to go in the stage. Newman was a little bit loose there. I'm pushing a little bit. I got on the throttle a little too early. Newman's all the way down on the friggin' apron down there. And Kenseth is starting to come up into this fight as well. So it's a 4 or 5 car battle for the lead with Truex in there as well. Oh man, am I going to go flat out in 3 and 4? I think I will. No lifting at all through there, so that was much better than I would have anticipated. Still half a second to Kyle Busch, so I'm going to have to figure out something to do here. Going to have to lift a little bit in turn 1, I think. Yeah. Just a little bit. Back end stepping out ever so slightly. And now diving in front of Matt Kenseth. Trying to hold him off down the back straightaway. I can at least take a podium in a stage. Can't wait until we have podium ceremonies for stages. That would be amazing. No, it wouldn't. It'd be terrible. Right in front of Kenseth. Gotta hold him off. Well, I'm going to try to take 3rd. At the moment, I don't have anything for Newman and Busch. So that fight's going to have to continue after the stage break. Car pushing up the track just a little bit. No. Now, there goes Kenseth on fresh tires down below. Going to have to go up and block Martin Truex. Now we're low on fuel, so going to be close coming to the end of the stage. Working all the way on the outside of the track this time. And that's going to lose a ton of momentum because I'm just scrubbing a ton of speed. So if it comes down to a fight, you want at least tires, it looks like. 1 lap to go on fuel, 2 laps to go in the tanks. Oh, never mind. Yellow coming out. That'll end the stage. And Kyle Busch wins. We get 5th, 6 points, despite the fact that I'm leading the championship by about 2 years at this point. But, let's see. Repairs, 4 tires, fuel, all the good stuff. And we'll get back to racing here. So, still in 5th spot. Still got half the race to go. This is a good spot to be in, I think. Let's see what we got as we come back to the green. And racing once again at Michigan. 19 to go. Down to the inside of Matt Kenseth. And no out of bounds at Michigan. Up into fourth gear and into the lead. Past Kyle Busch. And that's a lot of Toyotas leading in Detroit. Uh-oh. Well, never mind. There goes Kenseth. There goes Keselowski. Guidance counselor Brad. Casey Kane down the inside. So many people. Now I'm going to try and drive around the outside. Car pushing. Because I just decided to push the throttle too hard. Kane looking to the inside. Another yellow. Must have been a big wreck behind me because the game was lagging like you wouldn't believe. So not going to pit. Going to come right back to the green on the outside of the front row. Side by side with Matt Kenseth. Dale and Kenseth. Their last race, Homestead in Miami. All right, here we go. Back to racing with now 15 laps to go. Back into the lead, 9 to go in the fuel tank, and once again, from starting on the front row, I get an absolutely dynamic restart and pull away down down into 1 and 2. But look at this push out of turn 2. There goes Casey Kane down to the inside. Whoa! Oh, sorry, Blaney. Oh God, this is gonna be a horrible crash. How is there not a yellow? Oh man. Well, that wasn't the best thing in the entire world, but I'll tell you what, from here, I can make it to the end of the race. So that's what we're going to do. Despite the fact that we're going to be at the back of the back of the pack, I can go to the end. And that's what the rest of the field can't do. So, here we go. Here we freaking go. So sorry about dumping Blaney. That was a bit unfortunate. Now Sadler going to give me a little bit of heck. And down into 1 and 2. Up the track a little bit. So I guess in some ways we're the first car to make the last stop, which a lot of times is a good strategy call to make. Sometimes it doesn't work out that way. So we'll see how it goes here. It's all kind of dependent on yellows, and this race has been a yellow fest, to say the least. As we go around the outside, get 2 positions for 1 right there. And almost made contact with Corey LaJoie. Now Timmy Hill taking a swipe at me. I overcorrected into the wall because of course I did. That's what I do. A lot of banged up looking cars back here. A lot of banged up looking cars. Down the back straightaway, AJ Allmendinger not going to be nice to me, so I'm not going to be nice to him. Oh, good Lord, I hooked Jeffrey Earnhardt. Round he goes. Well, there's probably a, yep, there's the yellow. Well, I'm going to have to hold him off on old tires because that's the only way I'm going to win this race. So I know what the deal is now. It's going to be off of turn 2. If I can hold him off on the restart off of turn 2, that's going to be what happens here. So it's going to be Brad Keselowski on the inside, I think, is going to be giving us the most heck. So we've got 8 laps to go, 8 laps in the fuel tank. Back to racing here at Michigan. Trying to arc it into the corner as best I can, trying to hold off guidance counselor Brad. He's coming on the inside, got to hold it down there. Kane looking to the outside, can't quite get it. This is it. 2 lanes of traffic. Going to try to block them both. Doing a lot of mirror driving down the back straightaway here at Michigan. Into 3 and 4. No, I'm real good in this corner, so hopefully I can pull a little bit of a gap up, which I kind of did, but I got off the bottom. Got to kind of hold the white line, and I'm not doing it very well. Kane just completely driving on the outside by himself, looking, but can't quite get a run going. As I kind of park it at the apex of 1 and 2. Actually grabbed the brake a little bit there, but that was actually a good corner for me, and I pull away a little bit from guidance counselor Brad. So all good right now. And pulling away again through 3 and 4. So hey, if I have one more good corner 1, I think we may be in good shape here, but I don't know. How many laps do we have to go? 6. I gave it up on 5 to go in the stage the last time. grab the brake in the middle of the corner. Still trying to hold off guidance counselor Brad. He's looking to the inside, but he can't pull it off. This looks like an old IRL race in Michigan. Just hold the inside of the white line down turn 2, or down the back straightaway out of turn 2. And you're pretty much going to hold on to the lead because he really can't pass you anywhere else. So coming to 5 laps to go. Got an awfully big pack of cars that are looking very hungry. And Kyle Larson's back there as well. We know how good he was. He managed to win at Fontana earlier this year, so he's trying to continue the 2-mile streak. Oh, wow, they're 4 wide back there. I wasn't even paying attention, and then I looked in my mirror, and boom, they're 4 wide. But Larson's up to 4th, so he's got two cars to pass before he's back to me. Gotta get around Jimmy the Juggernaut and guidance counselor Brad. Oh, Brad has a tire failure. Into the wall he goes, and that will bring out the yellow. Happened in my rearview mirror. Rip Brad, he's done. 5 laps to go, 5 laps on the fuel. Repairs can be done to the car, but they are not being done right now. This is going to be a green-white checker right here. Solve it at Michigan. So, turn 2. Pretty sure Larson's directly behind me. Larson may steal this one away from me as we got 2 laps to go here at Michigan. Johnson falls back on the restart, as does Larson to a certain extent as well. We'll drive it right down to the white line. Oh, no, 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 no. I had to block him, and I did. Johnson looking to the outside. He turns me because I blocked him. Now look at all these people going around. Good grief. Good grief. And McMurray the McFlurry is not going to lift. But I'll tell you what he did, despite the fact that he's a rival. He helped me out, and then I'm going to die right here. Dead. 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 Oh dear. That was Rusty Wallace on steroids right there, folks. You know what we gotta do. We gotta take a look at that replay because I pretty much killed the flagman right there. Look at this. Up and over and into the flag stand. Up and over. Oh my God almighty. From another angle, let's take a look at this. Boom, into the pack, up and over, and as you can see, ripped the flagman, and pretty much me too. Look at that, 720, ollie. Just to prove I'm not BSing, look at this. Into the catch fence, skimming along the top of the catch fence, absolutely tearing apart the bars, because clearly that's what's happening. Uh-oh, driver first into the fence. That's never a good thing. Then we do a 720 on top of Trevor Bain as he spins into the wall, and he launches me further down the track and into the flag stand across the line. That's a heck of a crash to end the race here at Michigan. So yeah, 30th on my head and on fire. That was the wildest 30th. And Kyle Larson continues his streak at the 2-mile tracks. Unbelievable luck for Kyle Larson. I swear I didn't rig it for him. I remember I doubted him at Fontana too, and he managed to take the victory. So that was a thing that happened. As we're going to take a look at the money that I can't use to buy anything. 70 grand for 30th. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Have to admit. And we'll take a look at the point standings. Still in the lead, but only by 11 points over Cal Busch. Kyle Larson is actually second in terms of the wins column. So he'll be second going into the chase, all things equal at this point. But of course, we got a long way to go. Let's go get trash talked on Twitter, shall we? So, we got trash talk, incentive contract. You didn't complete the incentive contract. Better luck with the next contract. Okay, well, no trash talk except for our team telling us we failed at life and have nothing to do. Okay, so you know what? We're going to go with easy. Can I get top 15s? Probably not. And guess what's coming up next? Sonoma, right turns, road racing. Am I a road course ringer? I don't remember. I think I did pretty well in all of the road course races leading up to this, but I don't think I've ever started a Cup Series. No, I did Watkins Glen, I believe. I believe Watkins Glen was one of the hot seats, if I'm not mistaken. I think Watkins Glen was actually where I got the 88 car, but we haven't run Sonoma yet in this game. So that track was an absolute pain in the butt in NASCAR Heat Evolution. Will it be a pain in the butt in NASCAR Heat 2? Watch and find out in the next video.